Dear students, good evening to all of you. I hope all of you are doing good. Please wear mask whenever you go outside. Sanitize your hand regularly. Advise your parents. Advise your neighbors. Yes, before going to the class, let me introduce myself. I am Balasubramani. I am an English teacher in the school. I am one among the English teachers working here since 2010. I am really grateful to this institution because since I came here, I am doing my work perfectly, and management is very helpful to me. I am really thankful to the institution, and I hope that I think that you are really gifted to be admitted in the school because even in the corona surrounded situation, people like our teachers are risking their lives in taking the classes, and they are doing really very seriously, very sincerely. So we are grateful to the management for taking steps for the welfare of the students. Yes, then we are going to see about parts of speech. Before that, in the last class, I think you would have seen or you have seen about blending, clipping, biodata, and polite words. So have all those videos with you and you note it down in your note. And today we are seeing something about the foundation of English grammar or the fundamentals of English grammar. Yes, let's go to the class. The topic is parts of speech. Parts of speech are eight in number in English, and the eight are noun, pronoun, adjective, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, and interjection. And you know what is a noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjection. But we don't know very clearly about the nouns, pronouns, adjectives. But we should have known about these parts of speech before going to the grammar. So, what is a noun? A noun is a name of a person, place, or thing. Yes. So, my name, your name, parents' name, our places, animals' names, objects, vegetables, fruits, as we have all things. So, a noun is the name of a person, objects, animals, things, places, etc. So, you know about it. So, noun. A noun is the name of a person, place, thing, or idea. But we have some classifications under the noun, but we can see it in detail in the next class. And what is a pronoun? A pronoun is a word which is used instead of a noun. What is a pronoun? We know these are pronouns, but we are not very familiar with it. But we forget to know. So these are pronouns. The pronouns are I, we, you, he, she, it, they. So they are pronouns. They are used instead of the nouns. So we should have known about the pronouns. So pronouns are taking the place of a noun. Yes. Then what is adjective? You know adjective, but what is adjective? An adjective is a word used to give something to the meaning of a noun or a pronoun. That is called an adjective. Yes, adjective is describing a noun. Adjective is an additional meaning to a noun. Yes. Then what is a verb? A verb is an expression of an action or a state of being. What is a verb in a sentence? What is a verb? Yes, a verb is an action word. A verb is a state of being. Yes. Then what is adverb? Adverb is a word which is describing or modifying or giving an additional meaning to a verb, adjective or another adverb. It is called adverb. What is a preposition? A preposition is a word which is used to establish a relationship between the noun and the rest of the sentence. Yes, we will discuss something in detail about after giving some initial introduction about the overall words. Yes, what is a conjunction? A conjunction is a word used to connect words, phrases, and clauses. Yes. Then, what is an interjection? Interjection is a word which gives some sudden feeling. So, they are called interjections. And including the 8 parts of speech, we have to know something about the articles. What are articles? Articles are something which help define nouns. We have to know something even about the articles also. Yes. Then what is a noun? I have given the initial introduction about the noun, but we all know noun. What is a noun? So noun is the name of a place, a person, thing, idea. So what is the name of a person? We have some kinds or some differentiation. We have some words coming under the noun. So the different types of nouns are a proper noun, a common noun, collective noun, abstract noun, countable noun, and uncountable noun. What is a proper noun? Proper noun is a word which is used for an individual person. Yes. For example, Shakespeare, Abdul Kalam, Mahatma Gandhi, Donald Trump. So these are the words which describe only the particular persons. So these are called proper nouns. And the name of a place, for example, Chennai, America, India, Namakkal, Aniyapuram. These are the words which are referring to the places. So they are called. They are referring to the particular names of places. So they are proper nouns. Then what is a common noun? Common noun is a word referring to something in common. For example, I say Alexander, but I say a man. Alexander refers to the particular person, whereas a man, the word a man refers to many in common. So that is a common noun. We have so many words, and you are familiar with, I think. What are the common nouns? We know. Yes. What are the common nouns? Student, boy, girl. Then country, nation, city, village. Some words we have like this. They are common nouns. Yes. Then what are collective nouns? Collective nouns are a collection of persons. Collection of persons. What are they? You know something. You know class, fleet, and crowd, mob, jury. So we know. Or we have some words like this. So they are called collective nouns. What are the collective nouns? Collective nouns are collection of persons. Yes. And what is abstract noun? What is an abstract noun? Abstract noun that we can perceive. Passive means what we can see, what we can hear, what we can taste, what we can smell, and what we can taste. So these are the words coming under abstract nouns. For example, goodness. For example, darkness, fragrance, beauty, kindness, gratitude. So these are the words are coming under abstract nouns. Abstract nouns that they are something which we can perceive, we can understand. So they are abstract nouns. And what are concrete nouns? So concrete nouns are something which we can see, or which we can. So there is not a big difference between a countable noun and a concrete noun. Yes, concrete noun is something which we can see. So they are called concrete nouns. For example, fan, blackboard, chalk piece, light, pen, watch, anything, mobile phone, everything. So they are concrete nouns. Yes. Then what is countable noun? Countable noun is something that we can count. But whereas uncountable nouns we cannot count. Countable nouns, what are countable nouns? So apples, books, tables, so everything, magazines, newspapers. So what are countable? Something that can be measured are countable. And what are uncountable nouns? Uncountable nouns are something that we cannot count, we cannot measure. It is immeasurable. What are they? For example, milk, sugar, oil, water, wheat. So they are uncountable nouns because we cannot count it. So they are uncountable nouns. So these are something which is coming under nouns. Yes. Then what is a pronoun? Pronoun we have already discussed. Pronoun is a word which is taking the place of a noun, or this pronoun is a word used instead of a noun. Yes, I have already told you that what are pronouns means I, me, you, he, she, it, they. So they are coming under pronouns. So pronouns also we have some types. What are the pronouns? They are personal pronouns. They are demonstrative pronouns, interrogative pronouns, distributive pronouns, and something we have like that. What are the personal pronouns? Personal pronouns means I told you personal pronouns I, me, you, he, she, it, they. So they are personal pronouns. And what are interrogative pronouns? The words which are used for asking questions like what, when, where, how long, how much, who, whose, whom. So they are interrogative pronouns. And demonstrative pronouns. What are demonstrative pronouns? You know the words this, that, these, those. So they are the words used, or they are coming under demonstrative pronouns. So this is a book. These are the words. That is a man. Those are men. So these words are demonstrative pronouns. Yes. Then distributive pronoun. What is distributive pronoun? The words like each, every, all. So some words like that. Distributive pronoun, it distributes to everyone. It is a distributive pronoun. Each, yes. So I have told you. Then what is a, yes, we go to the verb. What is a verb? Verb is a word which is expressing an action or state of being. Yes, and a verb is something which is very important to a sentence. Without a verb, we cannot frame a sentence. Yes, expresses action means I study English. Here the study, the word is a verb. So action verb. What is action verb and what is the state of being? Action verb is doing some action, a state of being. The word, for example, student. The in the sentence he is a student. Is is verb which means a state of being. It does not do any action, but it states what the person is doing, what the person is, how the person is. That is a verb. And we have some verbs: regular verb, irregular verb, transitive verb, intransitive verb. Before that, we have a primary, auxiliary verbs, and primary verbs, modal verbs, and regular verbs, irregular verbs. Yes, you know what are the auxiliary verbs? Auxiliary verbs are otherwise called helping verbs. What are the auxiliary verbs? Am, is, are, was, were, do, does, did, have, has, had. So they are auxiliary verbs. And what are the modal verbs? Will, would, shall, should, can, would, must, ought to, used to, dare, need. They are modal verbs. And regular verbs, what are irregular verbs? Regular verbs are something like I say called, called. So they are regular verbs. What are irregular verbs? For example, I say speak, spoke, spoken. It is coming under irregular verbs. What is the transitive verb? What is an intransitive verb? Transitive verb, for example, if we are able to change the sentence into a passive voice, means it is a transitive verb. Intransitive verb means a sentence which cannot be changed into a passive voice. So that is intransitive verb. Yes. Then what is an adverb? So adverb is a word refrain or effort to describe to a verb, adjective or another adverb. So what is the main function of the adverb? Adverb is giving something to the meaning of a verb, to the meaning of an adjective, or to the meaning of another adverb. For example, studies well. Here, well is an adverb saying something about the verb studies, and he is very good. Here, in a sentence, he is very good. Very is used to give some meaning to the adjective good. So it is an adverb. Then another adverb. I am quite well. I am quite well. Here, well. Sorry. It is, yes, adverb is a word which is giving some meaning to the verb, adjective, or another adverb. Yes, the another adverb means here an adverb is used for another adverb. For example, he is running very fast. Fast is an adverb, and very is another adverb to the adverb fast. So that is giving some meaning to an adverb to another adverb. Yes. Then what is a preposition? We have so many prepositions: simple preposition, double preposition, compound preposition, phrase prepositions. And what is a simple preposition? For example, in, at, from. So these are simple prepositions. What is a compound preposition? For example, in plus to into, with plus in within, with plus out without. So these are compound prepositions. And what is that is a double preposition. For example, with plus in plus into, up plus on, they are a double preposition. And compound preposition means with reference to, on account of, in the event of. So they are compound prepositions. And what are phrase prepositions? For example, phrase preposition means concerned with, reference to, in relation to. Like that, we have some phrases. We are using prepositions to the nouns, so they are phrase prepositions. Then what is a conjunction? Conjunction is something which is connecting words, phrases, and clauses. Yes, two words can be used and two phrases can be connected, two classes can be connected. Yes, so they are the conjunctions. We have conjunctions like correlative, coordinative, subordinative. So these are conjunctions can be divided. Yes, what is an interjection? Interjection is the word which is giving something to the sudden feeling. For example, Pura, Bravo, Alas. So these are the words which are used to express the sudden feelings. Yes, they are interjections. Yes. So these are the parts of speech which we have to be familiar with. This is enough. I think this is enough for today's class. So overall, we have learned something. So this is needed to be familiar with. I don't say that it is very compulsory for learning grammar. So grammar is so different from the parts of speech. For speaking English, for learning English, grammar alone, we can't say that the grammar alone is important. Before that, at least you are familiar with these words, you can speak English, you can do something like that. So grammar alone not needed. Before that, if you have known something about this will help you to speak English. To have a conversation, we need not have learnt grammar, but these words, these indispensable words will help you learn English better. Because in Tamil, it is the native language, but we don't learn grammar for it, but we speak Tamil very beautifully, but we don't know grammar. But in English, we say that if at all you know grammar only, you can speak English. Not like that. You know something about this and you practice speaking English, you can definitely speak English better than the people who are speaking English after learning grammar. But you can, without learning grammar, you know something about this, you can speak English. So for learning or for speaking English, you practice speaking. Grammar is not at all needed to speak English, because in Tamil we don't know grammar, but we speak English. Everybody, we are all native speakers of Tamil. We know something, but we don't speak Tamil after learning grammar. So for learning English, these are the words which will help you definitely to speak English or to learn grammar as good as possible. Yes, with this I conclude the class. I am very happy to have this class because I am meeting you through this class. So I am delighted to have concluded to conclude my video class with this. So thank you very much.